Very good morning and thanks for tuning into the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. My name is Aishwarya Kapoor and here are this morning's headlines. Fugitive Economic Offenders Bill 2018 in the Rajya Sabha today. Bill allowing provisional attachment of properties of fugitive offenders has been passed by Lok Sabha. There must be a sense of dignity in dissent during debate in Parliament or state legislatures, says President Rajnath. Govind asks MPs and MLAs to respect each other's views while discussing issues of public importance. In a first, Prime Minister Modi to address a Ugandan parliament today. On second leg of his three-nation visit, holds talks with Ugandan President. Both sides signed 4 MOUs, including one on defense cooperation. India extends $200 million line of credit. Centre asks states to appoint a nodal officer and task force in each district to check incidents of mob lynching. Says the failure to prevent incidents or investigate and facilitate trial will be considered act of misconduct. Government informs Lok Sabha over 1,600 defamatory websites and contents have been blocked by social media platforms. And Pakistan votes to elect a new Prime Minister in the second democratic transition of power in its history, polling for National Assembly and 4 provincial assemblies. Triangular contest between Imran Khan, Shahbaz Sharif and Bilawal Zardari Bhutto's parties. First up, let's get you all the news from Parliament. And important bills are slated to be taken up in both houses of Parliament today. The Rajya Sabha will take up the Fugitive Economic Offenders Bill 2018. This bill allows for provisional attachment of the properties of fugitive offenders, and the bill has been passed by the Lok Sabha. Apart from this, the Negotiable Instruments Amendment Bill 2018, the National Council for Teacher Education Amendment Bill 2018 will be taken up. And earlier, the Lok Sabha on Tuesday passed the Prevention of Corruption Amendment Bill. The bill seeks to punish bribe givers for the first time along with the bribe takers. Today, the lower house will take up the Criminal Law Amendment Bill 2018, among others. There will also be a discussion on the recent flood and drought situation in the country in the lower house. And earlier on Tuesday, the Parliament passed the Prevention of Corruption Amendment Bill 2018. The AntiCorruption Bill provides for punishment to the bribe givers and takers. It also extends prior not for the prosecution to former public officials. It also has the provisions to ensure speedy trial in the corruption cases. The bill was passed by the lower house after a reply by the Minister of State for Personal, Public Grievances and Pensions, Jitendra Singh. Rajya Sabha had cleared the bill last week.
This is certainly a very historic legislation. This is when the history of the parliamentary proceedings is recorded. This will go down because after independence, there was only one occasion when this bill was brought in 1988, and 30 years after that, this bill has been improved upon and laid the foundation of future improvement if possible.
The bill makes it more difficult to hold someone guilty of disproportionate asset as it raises the threshold of proof. Under the existing law, the possession of monetary resources or property disproportionate to the public servant's known source of income is enough to prove corruption. Now, the prosecutor will also have to prove that this disproportionate asset was acquired with the intention of the public servant to enrich itself.
Jandhan, Aadhaar and mobile, with the linkage of all these things, the DBT was implemented. With the DBT, the strict implementation of DBT is in all subsidy scheme has saved 90,000 crores have been saved since on 2014, and DBT has been implemented in around 300 crores, benefiting around 119 crore people.
There has been a significant reduction in the Swiss non-bank deposits and loans of Indians by 80.2% between 2013 and 2017. Finance Minister Piyush Goyal informed the upper house on Tuesday that the loans and deposits of Indians in the Swiss banks decreased by 34.5% in the year 2017 as compared to 2016.
During question hour in the upper house, Finance Minister Piyush Goyal asserted that the government has taken various steps in its crusade against black money that have led to positive results. Refuting claims that black money of Indians stashed in Swiss banks increased recently, he clarified that data collected by Swiss National Bank in collaboration with Bank for International Settlements shows that the loans and deposits of Indians other than banks in the Swiss banks have decreased.
ये खुद स्विस अथॉरिटीज लिखित रूप में देते हैं कि स्विस नेशनल बैंक इन कोलैबोरेशन विद बैंक फॉर इंटरनेशनल सेटलमेंट्स का जो डेटा है वो दर्शाता है कि लोन्स एंड डिपॉजिट्स ऑफ इंडियंस अदर देन बैंक्स, मतलब आरबीआई भी रख सकता है, स्टेट बैंक भी रख सकता है, बैंकों को छोड़ो, जो इंडिविजुअल्स के डिपॉजिट स्विस बैंक्स में है स्विट्जरलैंड में, डिक्रीज्ड बाय 34.5% in the last year compared to the previous year.
Goyal also apprised the House that automatic exchange of information from the Swiss authorities commenced from 2017. India will also receive the information of financial accounts held by Indian residents in Switzerland for 2018 and subsequent years on an automatic basis.
2014 के बाद लगभग 4000 से अधिक हमने इंफॉर्मेशन मांगी है वहां से, और उस डेटा के ऊपर उचित कार्रवाई देश में हो रही है। इसी के साथ साथ अभी हमने जो नई ट्रीटी रीनेगोशिएट की है स्विट्जरलैंड के साथ, उसके तहत 1 जनवरी 2018 के बाद जो भी ट्रांजैक्शन स्विट्जरलैंड में होंगे कोई भी भारतीय नागरिक द्वारा, उसको हमें मांगना भी नहीं पड़ेगा, ऑटोमेटिक डेटा भारत को मिल जाएगा।
The information received will be used to conclude investigations and tax unaccounted income and assets of the taxpayers and initiate penalty and prosecution proceedings as and when applicable. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu on Tuesday set a precedent by presiding over the proceedings of the upper house for the entire day. According to observers, this is a first of its kind. Naidu was in chair for the entire pre-lunch session till the House was adjourned at about 12:45 p.m. and he was back in the chair in the afternoon session from 2 p.m. till about 6 p.m. when the House was adjourned for the day. Setting another record of sorts, Chairman Naidu also allowed 24 zero-hour submissions in the Rajya Sabha yesterday. Several important issues of public importance were raised during zero-hour. And the centre will bring a law to deal with the lynching incidents if needed. Replying to the issue during zero-hour in Lok Sabha, Home Minister Rajnath Singh on Tuesday reiterated that the government is all for taking strong action against the people behind such heinous incidents. Meanwhile, Congress has demanded that there should be a judicial inquiry headed by a sitting Supreme Court judge in such incidents.
Home Minister Rajnath Singh on Tuesday asserted that the government will enact a law if necessary to curb incidents of mob lynching. Responding to remarks by Congress members in the Lok Sabha, Singh said the government has taken the issue seriously.
उस ग्रुप ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स के मेंबर होंगे जो कि हाई लेवल कमेटी की रिकमेंडेशंस पर विचार करने के बाद यह अपना फैसला करेंगे कि लिंचिंग के विरुद्ध कठोर कार्रवाई करने के लिए हमें क्या-क्या कदम उठाना चाहिए। जो भी प्रभावी कदम उठाना पड़ेगा हम उठाने को तैयार हैं। उसके लिए यदि कानून भी यदि बनाने की जरूरत होगी तो हम कानून भी बनाने को तैयार हैं।
Opposition parties, mainly the Congress and the Trinamool Congress, raised the issue in the lower house during zero hour and demanded that the centre take action to curb such incidents.
सिटिंग सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जज को आप नियुक्त करो, ये सब घटना है, इंक्वायरी करो और रिपोर्ट आने दो, और जो भी अपराधी है उसको शिक्षा दो।
लेकिन पिछले कई वर्षों में, मैं ये नहीं बोला ये सरकार, हम पहले भी जब चर्चा किए थे, पिछले 10-12 साल में ये स्थिति बन रही है देश में और बिगड़ रही है और इसको मानना चाहिए।
We are for united India. We are for stop lynching. We want that government of India, if necessary, should give directions to the states.
Send the central government come forward this to stop this kind of things, mob lynching, everything. That is what I'm expecting from the central government.
On Monday, the Home Ministry announced setting up of 2 high-level committees to suggest ways and legal framework to effectively deal with incidents of mob violence and lynching. While one committee is headed by Singh, the other panel is headed by Union Home Secretary Rajiv Gauba. Ravindra Singh's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
That was our segment on all the news from Parliament, and with that we'll take a very short break. We'll be back with more news on the other side. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying with us. President Rajnath Govind has stressed on the need for maintaining decorum while expressing dissent in Parliament and in state legislatures. Addressing the commemoration of the 3rd anniversary of the Speaker's Research Initiative, or the SRI of the Lok Sabha in the national capital, the President stressed on the need for 5 Ds to strengthen democracy. He said, discussion, debate, dissent, decorum and decision strengthen it. He underlined the need for members of Parliament to respect each other's views and maintain dignity. SRI, that is the brainchild of Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan, was inaugurated in July 2015. The Speaker said that the inspiration behind setting up the initiative was the 300 new members in the 16th Lok Sabha who needed to be initiated into parliamentary procedures. Several other members also were present at the occasion, and they hailed the contribution of the SRI in creating an incentive platform for parliamentarians to access in-depth understanding of the complex issues so that they can articulate their views better in Parliament.
लोकतंत्र में संसद और विधानमंडलों की भूमिका डिस्कस, डिबेट और डिसाइड करने की सामान्यतया होती है। कभी कभी ऐसे अवसर भी आते हैं जब इस प्रक्रिया में डिसेंट का तत्व भी जुड़ जाता है, लेकिन डिसेंट की अभिव्यक्ति में भी विधायकों और सांसदों को डेकोरम बनाए रखना होता है। इन 5 डी अर्थात डिस्कशन, डिबेट, डिसेंट, डेकोरम और डिसीजन के मेल से ही सबसे बड़ी डी अर्थात डेमोक्रेसी सही मायनों में लोक कल्याण की अपनी भूमिका का सम्यक निर्वहन कर पाती है। भारत के संविधान में राष्ट्रपति संसदीय परिवार का अभिन्न अंग होता है। उस नाते मैं आप सबका ध्यान इस बात की ओर दिलाना चाहता हूं कि संसद की कार्रवाई का सजीव प्रसारण होता है। जनता इस प्रसारण को देखती भी है और इससे प्रेरणा भी प्राप्त करती है। संसद में जनता की कठिनाइयों के समाधान पर, देश के विकास की योजनाओं पर चर्चा हो, ऐसी जनता हम सबसे अपेक्षा करती है। जनप्रतिनिधि होने के नाते जनता की आशाओं और आकांक्षाओं को पूरा करने की दिशा में प्रयास करते रहने की जिम्मेदारी आप सभी सांसदों पर है। हमारा आचरण इसके अनुरूप होने में ही लोकतंत्र की मर्यादा है।
उसके पीछे भाव ये था, अनेक विषयों के विशेषज्ञ हमारे यहाँ है, हिंदुस्तान में है, लेकिन उनको सांसदों के साथ मिलाना, उनकी चर्चाएं करना विभिन्न विषय पर, उसमें से सांसद जो उनका आवश्यक है वो उठाए, ये इसके पीछे भाव था।
My experience has been in Speaker's Research Initiative is that I have attended SRI. I have also spoken in SRI. And this is what is something unique. It is not that you just hear a lecture of someone who is coming to talk on certain things. You also interact with him. It is like an interactive session. It is like a participative session.
पार्लियामेंट में हमें क्या बोलना है, क्या नहीं बोलना है, हमने बहुत कुछ उस कार्यशाला से सीखा। कौन से शब्दों का उपयोग होना चाहिए, कितना गहराई में हमें जाना चाहिए, चाहे वो विज्ञान हो, स्वास्थ्य हो, कृषि हो, कैसे हमें उसकी पूरी जानकारी हो, तभी हम अपनी बात को सही से कह सकते हैं। मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ कि हमने बहुत सारे मार्गदर्शन हमें मिले इस कार्यशाला के माध्यम से।
The significance of Speaker's Research Initiative, according to me, is that the Madam Speaker has found out the need of the hour to have a support system for the members of Parliament so that they can very well vindicate the issues in the parliament. That is the most significant factor which I would like to place it on record.
And on to news on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's three-nation Africa tour. And Prime Minister Modi arrived in Uganda on the second leg of his three-nation Africa tour yesterday. Prime Minister Modi held a wide-ranging talks with the President of Uganda and discussed ways to strengthen bilateral ties. In a joint press statement, Prime Minister Modi extended the line of credit worth nearly $200 million to Uganda, in addition to the existing $10 billion line of credit that India promised, also to enhance cooperation in the energy infrastructure, agriculture and dairy sectors, and agreements related to defense, visa exemption and diplomatic and official passport holders, cultural exchange and healthcare were also signed.
हम युगांडा की आवश्यकताओं और प्राथमिकताओं के अनुसार अपना सहयोग जारी रखेंगे। युगांडा की जनता के प्रति हमारी मित्रता की अभिव्यक्ति के रूप में भारत सरकार ने युगांडा कैंसर इंस्टीट्यूट कंपाला को एक अत्याधुनिक कैंसर थेरेपी मशीन गिफ्ट करने का निर्णय लिया है।
And while in Uganda on the second leg of his three-nation Africa tour, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday also addressed the Indian community in Kampala. And speaking to the gathering, Prime Minister Modi hailed the India-Uganda ties, saying that the two nations share a past of intense labour and our struggles against exploitation. Prime Minister Modi said that resource-rich continent of Africa is now in the centre of his government's foreign policy. Prime Minister Modi further said that India is emerging as a global manufacturing and start-up hub, and many of the made-in-India products are today exported to nations from whom the country used to import. Also noting that the trade between India and Africa has witnessed a 32% increase, Modi said that Asia and Africa are better positioned in the new world order. Prime Minister Modi also expressed happiness over being invited to address the Parliament of Uganda today. Ugandan President Museveni also spoke on the occasion and lauded the contribution of the Indian community in his country's growth.
युगांडा से भारत का रिश्ता आज का नहीं है, ये रिश्ता शताब्दियों का है। हमारे बीच श्रम का रिश्ता है, शोषण के खिलाफ संघर्ष का रिश्ता है। युगांडा विकास के जिस मुकाम पर आज खड़ा है, उसकी बुनियाद मजबूत कर रहे युगांडा वासियों के खून पसीने में भारतीयों के खून पसीने की भी महक है। वो कालखंड था जब युगांडा और भारत दोनों को एक ही ताकत ने गुलामी की जंजीरों से जकड़ा था। तब हमारे पूर्वजों को भारत से यहां लाया गया था, बंदूक और कोड़े के दम पर उन्हें रेलवे लाइन बिछाने के लिए मजबूर किया गया था। उन मुश्किल परिस्थितियों में उन महान आत्माओं ने युगांडा के भाइयों बहनों के साथ मिलकर संघर्ष किया। युगांडा आजाद हुआ, लेकिन हमारे बहुत से पूर्वजों ने यहीं पर बसने का फैसला कर लिया।
And earlier, Prime Minister Modi, along with Ugandan President Museveni, also unveiled a bust of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel at the event that they addressed in Kampala. And Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Ravish Kumar said in a tweet, saluting the Lauh Purush, Prime Minister Modi and Ugandan President Museveni unveiled the bust of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel at the Indian community reception. The Prime Minister is slated to address the Ugandan Parliament today, a first by any Indian Prime Minister. On to some other news, the centre has asked all states to appoint a superintendent of police level officer in each district and set up a special task force for gathering intelligence and closely monitor social media contents so that no one is attacked on the suspicion of being child lifter or cattle smugglers. The Union Home Ministry also said that strong action will be taken against officers who fail to prevent, investigate and facilitate expeditious trial of such crimes. The advisory has been sent to the states and the Union territories following a Supreme Court directive issued in this regard on 17th of July. Now, this is the second advisory on the issue within a month. And Union Minister Rajya said on Tuesday that over 1,600 websites were blocked by social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter since 2017, following requests from the law enforcement agencies. Out of 2,245 requests sent to various social media platforms, as many as 1,162 got blocked for defamatory content. Now, these URLs were blocked from January 2017 till June 2018. The government is closely watching online content that can spread rumors through social media. Rajnath also said that the law enforcement agencies are monitoring the web and social media and will take appropriate action for blocking unlawful content under Section 69A of the Information Technology Act 2000. And in light of several incidents of mob lynching, top WhatsApp executives on Tuesday met IT Secretary Ajay Prakash Sahni and other Indian government officials to discuss the issue of fake news. During the meeting, the WhatsApp executives, including its COO Matthew Idema, outlined the steps that the company has initiated to combat the circulation of fake messages on the platform. WhatsApp maintains that the challenge of misinformation requires action from the government, civil society and technology companies, and that the company would engage with the various stakeholders to tackle the problem. The company's proposed payment service that is awaiting government nod also came up for discussion. And in the wake of mob lynching incidents triggered by rumours spread through social media, Chief Justice of India Deepak Mishra on Tuesday urged people to not blatantly believe any news doing rounds on the web. The CJI, while addressing an event in the national capital, said that horrendous acts of mobocracy cannot be permitted to inundate the law of the land. He said that the recurrent pattern of violence cannot be allowed to become the new normal. Asserting that it is important to verify news, he mentioned that the blatant reliance on social media needs to be checked by the citizens themselves to ensure peace and order in the society. Now, as per the Ministry of Home Affairs data, 45 people were killed in 40 different cases across 9 states between 2014 and 3rd of March 2018.
The blatant reliance on social media needs to be checked by the citizens themselves to ensure peace and order in society.
And on to news from Pakistan, where voting for the historic elections has begun. Voting is on for 849 general seats of the National Assembly and 4 provincial assemblies. Now, a total of 11,855 candidates are in the fray. This year, 10 crore 59 lakh voters are expected to cast their votes. More than 85,000 polling stations have been set up, and the voting will continue till 6 p.m. today. Now, counting will be done on the spot and results are expected to be announced within 24 hours. Polling will be held also for 849 general seats of Pakistan's national and provincial assemblies. As many as 3,459 candidates will contest the 272 seats. 171 women candidates are also in the fray. Pakistan's National Assembly has 342 members, in which 272 are directly elected. 60 seats are reserved for women and 10 for religious minorities. Direct elections are not held for the seats reserved for women and religious minorities. The seats are allotted to political parties according to proportional representation. Under the Election Act of 2017, every party must field women candidates on at least 5% general seats for National Assembly, and 8,396 candidates are contesting for the 577 general seats of Pakistan's 4 provincial assemblies of Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. More than 100 parties are taking part in the 2018 elections in Pakistan, but the real contest is between the three main political parties. So let's take a look at the key political players in the fray today. Cricketer turned politician Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, that is PTI, is being seen as the main challenger to the ruling Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz. Now Khan is contesting from 5 constituencies, namely Bannu, Islamabad, Mianwali, Lahore and Karachi. And after being ousted as a Prime Minister, Nawaz Sharif proposed his brother Shehbaz Sharif as his successor. Now he is contesting the election from Lahore, Dera Ghazi Khan, Karachi and Swat. And Bilawal Bhutto Zardari is leading the Pakistan People's Party or the PPP. He is making his political debut with this general election. He is contesting from Karachi South 1 and Larkana 1 in Larkana and also Malakand. And that's it from me and my team in this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks for watching. Have a great day ahead.